Hello everyone! In today's video I am building a bar in Brindleton Bay. I built this a while ago, so I don't actually quite remember what it looks like, but that's okay. I was very inspired to build this with simply the build and buy objects from Cats and Dogs. I feel like I don't really use them in my builds enough. They have some really cool items, like they have some really cool wall decorations, and I just wanted to play around with those a little bit and just decorate the build with it. As you can see, I used a lot of columns. I think Cats and Dogs has really cool columns. They're very simple, but I find that we kind of lack very simple, plain items like columns in the base game. I know Get Together has a really nice column, but I don't have Get Together. So this is the best I got. I tried to also experiment with wood colors. I added a lot of wood into this build. My builds, I like building more modern things for the very reason that nothing matches in this game. Like if I want to build a wooden house with a lot of dark wood, like there's gonna be like 3 different dark wood colors, nothing's gonna match. And it just really annoys me that I'm gonna have like this table that's like this dark cool tone wood, and then I'm not gonna be able to get a matching, I don't know, window, because the wood colors are just so different in this game. And they have gotten a little bit better with matching things, I feel like, in the most recent packs, but then again, I don't really have any recent packs, so maybe they haven't. But it is quite annoying. But I really tried to experiment with wood because this is not a build that screams modern. This is a build that screams very kind of old timey in vibes. If I had dine out at the time of building this, I think I definitely would have made this a restaurant. I really want to build a restaurant. Maybe I'll come back to this and I'll build like a restaurant, because this lot is kind of like by the sea. There's like a lot of it's intended for a public place to be here, but I think a restaurant would suit a lot better in this place than a bar. Obviously a bar is, base game, but I think a restaurant would suit a lot I think a restaurant would suit this lot a lot better than what it currently is in the original Brindle Bay world. But I could do a video where I build a little restaurant. I've been really into playing with Dine Out recently. I don't know what it is, but Dine Out is just kind of fun. As you can also see, I did add a lot of columns. The only problem was I think I end up eventually removing most of the columns just from the sides of the building that kind of frame the walls, if that makes sense, for the very reason that I couldn't get a trim around kind of where the column meets the roof to work. I think that's what that was. There's like a very particular, I'm sure there's a word for it, there's like a particular trim that goes kind of just between where the roof meets the end of the build, and I never used that trim, but I wanted to here, and I don't think it worked for me, which is why I think I ended up removing a lot of the columns. I actually quite liked how they looked, like the 2 columns kind of on each wall, and how they kind of framed the build and the walls. I thought it was kind of a nice touch. But obviously the game didn't want me to do that, so I got rid of it. I also tried to experiment with colors because I felt that the building was a bit too brown and beige, and well, there wasn't much beige, but too brown and monotone with the dark brick and the dark wood. So then I changed the fence to be blue, but then I didn't like the blue fence, so I think I ended up going back and changing all the wood to a slightly lighter tone of wood, and I think that ended up working really nicely in the end. I love the one thing about vampires. Vampires was one of the first packs I got in The Sims, and I love, 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 love the vines, the wall decoration that comes with vampires. I think there's more like that in, I believe, Cottage Living. I don't have Cottage Living though. I'm very limited in my packs because they're expensive. But I do think that there's a couple more packs now that have even better, like, kind of vines growing on a wall. But I remember when vampires first came out, I added that onto every house I built, because I just liked it so much. I added it onto every house I built. It was so fun. I don't really do it as much anymore, but I think that's because I build a lot more, like, I build very modern houses nowadays, just because I really struggle to match wood tones, and I kind of like to build more modern or contemporary houses. That's just what I enjoy. I like building modern cubes and calling them a house. I think it's quite fun, especially now that we have platforms. I will be sure to build a um a house like that sometime, a modern house, and post it. So stay tuned for that. Um, but yeah, here I'm just going inside, and this build is very out of my comfort zone. Again, I tend to build more modern slash contemporary things, and this is very not that. So I tried to use a lot of wood inside. I tried to make the whole thing just wood. And this like bar is actually, I believe it's from university, and I thought it's very, very beautiful. I don't ever really use it ever because I never put bars in my builds. Like I just never do. Like my Sims don't. My Sims, whenever I play, my Sims don't really leave their house because I'm so scared of my game crashing at a loading screen because it's happened to me so many times, especially if I have mods. I don't really have any mods at the moment, but anytime I have mods in my game always crashes. Not always, but a lot of the time gets stuck on a loading screen and I have to um forcefully shut it down, and it's quite annoying. It still occasionally happens nowadays, even when I'm not playing with any mods at all. Um, well, I have MC Command Center, but other than that, I don't have any mods. The interior of this build, I tried to make very, again, wood, a lot of wood, but I tried to make it be very warm. I think I ended up adding a little stage as well for like a performer. Again, I think that this would work a lot better if I had dine out at the time of making this. Like I think if I added a little kitchen, this would work as a very nice like restaurant, very sophisticated place with like, dim lights and like someone playing piano on the stage. I think those would be kind of the vibes. But I didn't have dine out at the time of filming this or building this. So oh well. I have so many ideas of things I want to build. I just don't have time because it takes forever. But I really like building community lots. I think it's just really fun. I also like building houses. I like just building in general. I spend most of my time in this game just building. Occasionally I play, but other than that, this is just a build simulator for me. I love building in this game. Yeah, as you can see, I also ended up changing the color of the bar to be brown to match everything else. Oh my god, I had so much fun building this bathroom. I don't know what it was. I think I ended up adding this random picture of like dogs at a table in front of the sinks. I don't know if I ended up keeping that. I think I did, but I thought that was such a funny little detail. And I added like this little table as well with I think like just a bunch of towels. I just wanted to make it look a bit posh, a bit like, it's like a private owned, bar run by like a family, like it's a generational thing. That's the vibes of this bar. I also added a little outdoor area, which we'll get to in a bit, and I added the darts in there as well. But when I was playtesting this build, I noticed that the Sims would go outside of the pub around to the back and then throw their darts instead of just standing in one place. They like run around it, and I didn't know that that would be the case. So, yeah, Sims aren't always the smartest. But the little outdoor area at the back with a little bit of green grass, that is purely there because I wanted to put the one of the tables from university there. I think it's a ping pong table or something like that. I never use it. Like I know there's a couple tables like that in the game. I just never use them. So I was like, you know what? When am I gonna get a chance to put a ping pong table in a build? I think it's ping pong anyway. I think it is. So I was like, I'm gonna use it because I can. And I did. So we're coming to the end of the video now. So thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe. I have a very exciting upcoming Let's Play with a lot of plot twists and a lot of drama coming around soon. So stay tuned for that and please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.